Well, let me change this chart, sorry. So now let's look at Euro USD. We have looked at DXY and USD CAD. So concerning Euro USD, two important things, which is this fib retracement here that you see from this top to this bottom, so we can inverse it. If people want to be perfect, we can just reverse it because we are retracing that way, and in that or put it in the other side, but it's exactly the same at the end. So some people said, oh, you have inverted your fib, but it's the same. In my fib, it's the same because everything is mirror effect on the 50%. Anyway, so what we had, we came back on this big M formation inside the trend line, and what is important is we stopped right to the pip on this 61.8 retracement. We will see it a little bit after that, but that's exactly where we stopped, I think, on the 22nd of November. So the other thing we have, if we would go much lower, would be this trend line here, but I really don't think we will go there by the end of the year. Anyway, we have to be open-minded. And the other important thing we have is this. Sorry. Okay. This A, B, C on the upside. So it's the exactly the mirror technical of the DXY that we saw with that ABC down here. We have this ABC up, and like we have the same on the USD CAD as I just spoke a few minutes ago. So we stop on this 61.8 and we are inside that ABC. You see just under the 61.8, which is this one. You see it here, the blue one. We have this 236. I can move them to the left. Okay, so you see we have the 236 extension of what could be, I repeat, what could be that ABC. I like this ABC because when you look at it, you see how the 236 has been holding the price on both sides very, very, very well. This is a weekly chart, so that's already a month and a half here of support on this price area. Here, that's a resistance of on a long time. We pierced through it, we came back, we bounced from it to this impulsive move, and now we are coming back inside this fib and the 61.8 in the same area. So now we have this trend line, and this trend line was making a confluence together with the 61.8 and perhaps the 236 fib. So that's why I have this area of interest. We still have a bearish setup on it. So with this technical aspect plus the bearish setup, of course, I am staying long as much as I can. This morning, we bounced from the 76.40 you have here. We have land there on Friday. We bounced from it since the morning. I am long from there this morning. I posted it on Twitter. And we had last week this kind of double bottom, which is the same I spoke about on USD CAD, on DXY. So it's something we need to keep an eye on because it's all around. We have this formation. So either it's really something that happened like this, but I don't think so. So we could see a spike under it with a big stop hunt to clear everything before we resume higher, like we could see the same inverted on USD DXY with the spike up and clean all the stops, and the same on USD CAD, of course. So that's something we really need to keep an eye on. We know we have a big accumulation of money in this area, like we have on DXY and on USD CAD in the same areas. On the high side, of course. So we are bouncing from it. And we have now two options. The target here is there. The target for the next move on the upside is around 115.25. And of course, we will have a stop in this area around 140.45. So that's already a nice move up. If we unfold it completely, that would give around 300 pips on the upside. And the first stop would be around 200, 210 pips. When we would stop in that area. So two options. We go from here to this area and then that area and much higher, because then we would unfold a big multi-months ABC, and that one would send us, as I've been speaking since a long time about this level, we would go to 128.50, which would be the one-to-one extension of that ABC, 128.51, and the first big stop, big struggle area would be 120. So that would be the two very big target of this move. And if we would break that from a technical point of view, we have that ABC, we have broken through the trend line. We come back for a wonderful backtest inside the trend line, which is a very basic and usual movement we can see. And then we would fly to this 128.50, because I even think the 61.8 would not stop it. Of course, we would pull back here, then bounce from this one and pierce from everything and go to this one-to-one. So that's why this one is another very interesting trade, because if we measure it, we just spoke about the USD CAD for 1,000 plus pips. And if we look at this one, if we look at that one here, if we go to the one-to-one extension, it's 1,600 pips. So it's something interesting to look at, and that could be the trend if that's correct. If the view is correct and confirmed, then we have the trend for the next 3 or 6 months, at least 3 months, I think, with 1,600 pips on the upside. So that's what we are looking at. Concerning zoom in, if we zoom in this Euro USD. So you see this morning, as I said, we bounced to the pip on Friday. We stopped right to the pip here on the 76.40 you see there, and we are bouncing from it. We need to break through this area, and more important, we need to break and close above those top consolidation area to be able to see the next move to the 114.50 and then 115.20, which is what we just said when we look at this yellow area here. So we have the levels. You see how those levels has been working. So the next important area will be this one, as you see here in dotted line, a 126.63, something like this. So that will be the next area where we would look at. Sorry. And then we would have the 113.48, and you see how well this one has been really playing with us. It's a 61.8 fib, and then we would break to this 76.40, 88.6, and then finally land to the 114.50. So that's what we have now concerning EURUSD. As I said in the other video, DXY and USD CAD, I am long EURUSD every time I can. I take longs, I bank apart, I keep some bottom position. I have a nice big bottom position on this 61.8 since end of November. Since that was a call we did on Twitter. So if we break lower, which is still possible, we could break lower, run the stops of the people who have been taking this 61.8 and probably go to this 272, 2360 ABC extension that I just show you, this big extension, ABC extension. So we could break that, go to this 2360 at 111.60, and then from there we could fly. Or we keep those lows, we consider we keep those lows here, which is possible because everybody was very bearish EURUSD, and I don't think a lot of people has been taking longs here. They are more still very bearish. So that could be that we have only here spark money playing and accumulating money. You see how they have been accumulating. Since here we can consider this is a big accumulation for them. 100 pips is nothing, so it's an accumulation. And before the accumulation, the accumulation are used to do the beginning of the move, and what can happen in many cases is just before the move we have a last flush. So we would flush the stops and fly from there, or we just flushed here and we are now accumulating more before flying. So that's what we have now for EURUSD, and we stay long, very long, very bullish the Euro USD, even if, as I said, we can see a little bit one more flush or something like that, but that won't be big compared to the potential, which is 1,600 pips on the upside.